Ah, Valentine's Day. Here at Brewbot Presents, love is in the air. Actually, COVID is in the air. Wear a mask. I'm not implying that I have COVID. Happy Valentine's Day. With many of us working from home, we don't really get to dress like this anymore. I didn't mean to look so patriotic. And with many of the typical V-Day venues shut down, you may be wondering how you want to spend that special day with your special someone. Well, now may be as good as any to snuggle up with some good old-fashioned gaming. Even if your significant other isn't a gamer, there hasn't really been a better time to start a new hobby together. In today's episode of The Load Times, we're going to be going on a journey to find the perfect couch, couples, cooperative, co-op game. Roll intro. Whether your relationship is but a small bud on a grocery store flower basket or has bloomed into a full orchard, or whether you're a pro gamer or just a casual enthusiast, I'm determined to find the perfect games for cooperative bliss to ease those quarantine blues. There's an exorbitant amount of multiplayer games out there, so for this video, I tried to focus on games that encourage cooperative teamwork rather than pitting players against each other. As I said, everyone has different tastes and interests. What pulls one person into a game may not be what pulls somebody else into a game. So for this video, I selected games from 5 different categories to kind of cover a wider spectrum, rather than just picking 5 of the best games. So let's get to the list. Honestly, I thought I was going to knock it out of the park with this first game. Animal Crossing New Horizons was the game that defined quarantine 2020. It's almost a guarantee that your significant other has at least seen videos or memes of this game pop up on their social media timelines. With its cutesy art style, open-ended nature, relaxing and low-pressure gameplay, this should be one of the first games you show off to someone who's intimidated by games that aren't on their phones. For my girlfriend Maya, it took her a ton of convincing to give any video game a go. But this one eventually pulled her in. After watching me play for about a week, she decided to create her own character and join me on my island of Corshire. One of the first things I discovered on this journey is that just playing a single player game with your significant other watching could be just as fun as playing together as long as they're invested. For Animal Crossing New Horizons, if you're someone who's already put some time into the game and built up your island, having your fellow non-gamers start a life on your already established island eases the barrier of entry even more. They get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, sometimes literally. It makes jumping in much easier. Animal Crossing really asks for a player's long-term investment when you start a fresh island. Once they've settled into their new life and reached a certain point, they can use the Call Islander app on their Nook phone to start a session of co-op local multiplayer. However, this is where you and your partner's communication skills will be put to the test. In this local multiplayer mode, all players share the same screen with one player acting as the leader and the rest as followers. The leader is the one calling the shots. Because split screen isn't an option, you're going to have to stay in close proximity to each other and decide how you'll spend your time. The leader is also the only one with access to their pockets. Only they can enter buildings and shop. Followers can't even pick up some items like fruit and wood. Followers can catch bugs and fish, but they'll be sent to the recycling bin in the resident services building. Thankfully, it's very easy to change who the leader is, and you can switch it up on the fly. When it came time for me and Maya to try this local multiplayer, we had a good time. But with both of us working on different projects and trying to achieve different goals, the systems in place made that difficult. Ultimately, if you're looking for a fun game to play for just a night or two, Animal Crossing probably isn't it. The game is designed for a more personalized experience, meant to be had over a longer period of time. As of writing this is the one game my girlfriend plays regularly, and we enjoy helping each other out and finding recipes and items for our own personal projects, and working together on coming up with the design of the island. But if you're looking for that one Valentine's Day game to play together, I'd probably look elsewhere. On to the next game. You don't have to be fans of cooking or even good at it to enjoy the frenzied chaos that is Overcooked 2. The premise is simple. You and your partner, or partners if you want to get even more friends in on the action, play as small, cute chefs who work in the kitchen, preparing, cooking, and plating meals for your hungry customers. The game's recipes are simple and customers hardly care how the food tastes, just that it was served fast and accurate. The controls are easy to grasp, as is most of the game. The challenge lies in how well you and your partner cooperate in the kitchen. Who will cook the meat? Who's chopping the veggies? Who's plating the finished food? Who's cleaning out plates to get ready for the next order? It doesn't help that these kitchens are often built in insane locations with crazy layouts. While screaming at your partner that they're letting the meat burn, you could be doing anything from dodging traffic and hopping between 2 flatbed trucks to navigating between wooden rafts on a river. The speed and efficiency at which you and your partner work will determine the rank you receive at the end of each level and whether you move on to the next. Overcooked 2 is incredibly easy to pick up and play, no matter your experience with games. The game's brilliant design ensures that in order to succeed, all chefs have to pull their weight. They can't just be carried by one player. It all comes down to how well the participants communicate and overcome sudden random obstacles that get thrown at them. I guess that's a metaphor for life, right?
Hey, Casual Future Nick here. Sorry for the interruption. Shortly after recording this video, Nintendo went and announced that from February 10th to February 16th, Overcooked 2 was actually going to be free for Nintendo Switch owners who are subscribed to the Nintendo Switch online service. So if you have a Switch and you're already subscribed to the service, you can play the game for free this Valentine's Day weekend. And hey, if you're not subscribed, it's like $20 a year, which is more or less the price of Overcooked 2 anyway. So in addition to that, you get Nintendo's whole online service for a year and a bunch of free NES and Super Nintendo games. So, okay, back to the video.
If you and your partner are already gaming enthusiasts, why not try your hand at some platforming fun? Any one of Mario's adventures would be a good pick. But today, I offer you one of the greatest platformers of all time. A game that was wrongfully robbed of Game of the Year in 2014, and I will die on that hill. I'm talking about Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. This game is a masterclass in level design, has a killer soundtrack, and is just pretty to look at. While it can absolutely be enjoyed thoroughly in single player, it's just as fun, if not more, to play through it with a buddy, depending on your partner's gaming prowess. The game certainly offers a bit of a challenge, and playing in co-op could even add to that challenge as both players share the same pool of lives, which could lead to some frustration. If your partner wants to give this game a go but finds themselves struggling, on the Switch version of the game, they have the option of playing as Funky Kong, which is essentially an easy mode. All the other Kong's abilities are rolled into one with Funky Kong, and he has more leeway when it comes to taking damage. And hey, if you end up spending Valentine's Day alone this year, this game's jolly vibes are almost guaranteed to put you in a good mood. If puzzles are more your speed, the game Human Fall Flat is an unorthodox choice, but one I think you'll love. At its surface, it doesn't look like your typical puzzle game. Players control rubber-limbed avatars in a sandbox-style level to try to escape a dream. The twist is that the physics in this game are just downright outrageous. Simply getting your wonky human to walk in a straight line is an achievement in and of itself. In each level, there's no single correct way to reach your goal. The game encourages experimentation, and the results are often hysterical. Working with your partner to do seemingly simple tasks like opening doors and pulling levers is never as easy as it seems. For someone hopping right in for the first time, there's a bit of a learning curve getting used to how these flubber-looking creatures control, but I think that's all part of the hilarious process. And lastly, if you're in the mood for something a bit heavier, something with a bit more drama, I suggest to you a game called A Way Out. It's a co-op game unlike most, and it's designed to be experienced side by side with a friend in real life. You and your player 2 play as Vincent and Leo, two criminals trying to escape prison. Without spoiling anything, the game's plot goes well beyond that. What makes this game unique is that the entirety of the game is played in split screen. While one player is in the middle of solving a puzzle, the other could be in the middle of watching a cutscene. This can be a bit jarring at first, but A Way Out does a good job of seamlessly integrating these different mechanics into a unique experience. Players work together to advance through the game's story, and many of the decisions you make will have serious consequences. Oftentimes, you and your partner will disagree on how to handle a situation. Convincing them that your way is the right way is sometimes just as fun as actually executing it in-game. Again, there isn't that much that's lighthearted about this game, so if you're looking for a different kind of Valentine's Day game to play with your partner, this might be the one. There's a decent amount to unpack and enjoy with this game, and you probably won't be able to get through it in one sitting, but once you're invested, I guarantee you're going to want to come back. So those are my suggestions for your Valentine's Day 2021. But of course, there are tons of other games that I have not mentioned here. Let us know in the comments what your favorites are and if you have any crazy stories with your co-op buddies. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone. And until next time, stay caffeinated.